No, I got more there. Anybody on here? Hello, 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 hello. Yes, I'm on. I'm on. I'm just covering up because I'm wearing a tank top. And I don't have to show off my body because I got body yaddy yaddy. You better believe it. Anyway, the children's are woken up. The children's are just woken up. For people who follow me, I gotta put a post for. I need to hire. I have to hire. I contacted the Asian Anti-Defamation League. A friend is somebody. Someone just got set up. Someone got set up, and just so happens to be that the person who set them up is a New York State trooper. Set somebody up, dipping the wick elsewhere, trying to hold on to the pension. All right, so now here you go. Now they're going to be getting some discovery is going to be required for this case. They know what I'm talking about because I just contacted them. When you talk about shady people that do stuff and they cover shit up, listen to my stories. Listen to my stories. Someone got set up by their D-bag husband, okay? D-bag husband with allegations of an illegal poo-poo. The poo-poo belongs to the alleged perpetrator's deceased father. Registered, right? So this DB, fucks up my door. How can I help you? Do not knock on my door. I'm not soliciting. Have a good day. Goodbye. Thank you. All right. Goodbye. Get the fuck out of here. These fucking people, they come knocking on your door. Do not knock on people's doors because I don't trust anybody. I don't need a friggin' exterminator. I got 2 arms and I got bug spray at Home Depot or Lowe's. So yeah, this person set the spouse up, set her up, right? Set her up. When you're dealing with any of these shit agencies, and if you happen to be linked into somebody, like you're married to somebody, and shit is going south, you keep everything separate from them. Do not trust them as far as you could spit, okay? All right? Because this was a setup. Because this person doesn't want to, this person is dipping the wick elsewhere. Let's knock yourself out. Do what you got to do. If it wasn't for this person's father-in-law, the assets that have been acquired would not have been the assets. You understand what I'm saying? Unbelievable. So they'll be contacting this DA up here. And for the creepy husband, well, you know what? Karma's going to come and bitch slap you real fast, real hard. Don't worry. Maybe whoever you're dipping your wick in, maybe now, she'll respond in kind to how what just happened with you and unbelievable. This girl's father never liked this freaking guy. And I met him. He didn't look in my eyes. When I talk to somebody, if I meet you, I'm going to look in your eyes. Hi, how you doing? I'm gonna shake your hand. No, I don't give you hugs. No, unless you're my family, you ain't getting a hug from me. But when people don't look you me in the eye or anybody in the eye, to me, you got shit to hide. You know what I mean? So unbelievable. Women, protect yourself at all measures. Men too, but I speak on behalf of women. Protect yourself at all measures. Protect yourself at all measures. Um, because you get a situation where you get set up, and then because they got the law on their side, because they're retired 25 years or whatever, 20 years. Coincidentally, they got married the same day my husband and I got married, same year also. So, and I know this young lady since she's a little kid because we were neighbors. You understand? My mother was a tenant in her father's home. All right? The Asian Defamation League will be contacting, and they'll be working with her. The scams that people do to other people for their own benefit can fill libraries of Congress. You understand? Me, with my situation, what happened with my darling husband? Well, hold on. Well, that's a story. That's a story. Oh my God. Anybody on here? I need my eyeglasses. Oh, update. I got my refrigerator door off and I got the freezer off. Now I cleaned the refrigerator out twice, but OCD is going to make me do it 10 more times. And then OCD is going to then make me vacuum everything out from the back. I already did that about 3 times. But it's obsessive compulsive. Get her done! So, where's my... This one is that? Listen, Elisa Guzman, are you bored? Hi, hello, hi. Ridiculous. I don't do shout outs. Get off my page. Thank you very much. Hello. Anyway, the story with my hair. This hair is this story. Oh God! I gotta put a bandana on. Isn't that so cute? Look how adorable this is. These are shorts that I picked up at a Goodwill. I think I was up in Connecticut. And Then I dyed it. This was a scarlet red, and it came out this color. But they were actually, uh, they were tan. They were khaki. The coolest thing ever. These are Ralph Lauren, a polo. Yeah, Ralph Lauren. Not that that matters. But I don't buy anything. I get anyway. So this, is that cute? So cute. I made it happen. So the story, my story with my darling husband was that um, we met July 2003, right after I had returned from a leave, a stress leave, after September 11th and after my mother died and all that madness and the situation with that POS, that short arm little PRI, you know what. Um, that's finally being addressed now. Anyhow, took a leave, came back, and then he was working in my, I didn't even know, they were doing work in the building, and I was on the ninth floor. Anyway, hearing all this noise. As they're working, they're dropping 200-pound pipes, right? And so I'm jumping out. Ah! I'm thinking like we're under attack again, September 11th, and I'm jumping. I get out of my chair, this little bullshit office cubicle, a QB farm type of thing, and of course I'm going around the investigator, the inspector, and I'm like, what's going on? The exits, and I see these guys. Yo, what are you doing? Oh, we're the contractors here. Contracting what? We're putting in the new AC, the new heat. Oh, okay. I says, well, they did this. They did this already a bunch of times. Oh, we're here to fix it. Okay, that's how we met. Anyway, when he saw me and I approached him, I said, "Yo, what are you doing?" And his partner that he was working with, this guy, what was his name? I forgot his name. He's a Rasta, real cool dude. Anyway, he was like, "Oh, you see that lady's eyes, baby? Be careful. Yeah, be careful, don't F with me." Anyway, so that's how we met. And then, well, we met in July of 2003, and, and then we married May of '04. 10 whole months, right? And so what happened was, I bring that up, that's how we met. I bring this story up. So what happened was, my husband lied to me about anything and everything under the frickin' stars, the moon, and the sun. Now, when I met him, I was PTSD from trauma was up here. Understand? Like, I was functioning, going to work, taking care of myself. I was in suspended animation. When you experience extremely, extremely high stressors in your life, a loss, trauma, grave, witnessing addiction, my son, you become very vulnerable. You understand? You become a very vulnerable soul. And, well, and it happens to men too. Men that are recently, even though I wasn't legally married to my husband, the fireman, we were back together. You experience trauma, and then somebody comes in, right? And they see that. Oh. Now me, not to put no roses on my chest, medals, but I gotta give a girl her due. I keep my shit together, always have, never slouch, bottom line. So, we meet, and everything that this man told me was basically all BS. Basically all BS. And then after we get married, I was beguiled by love. I did love him, but what are you going to do? Everything that this man said was a lie. It was an absolute stinking freaking lie. And so basically, what my message is that for women, even for men, after you experience any kind of life trauma, Real trauma. I'm not talking. I mean, everybody's trauma is different, but I'm talking about significant life events, not, like, all right, if you break a leg or a bone, okay, so what? You got another one. I mean, that's how I think. But I mean, real trauma. Yeah, injuries are trauma too. But so anyway, but when that happens, you're so vulnerable, and you're basically you become like a lint roller. So all the shit that's around the lint, that people play on your head. So that's what happened. So bring the story up because people get lied to all the time in relationships, and it's because they want that connection. You want that human connection. You want to have the commitment, but after trauma and stuff, your radar is off. So what happened here with my husband? I thought that him and I would become partners here in this house. Never happened. Anytime, like trying to do stuff here, like he never wanted to do it, and he was like, then he had said like after, it ain't my house. I said, then get the f out. Yeah, then go, buddy. I don't need you. I don't need you. I've been on my own my whole life. Do you think I need you? And then it was like then the light bulb was like, well, I got it pretty good here. Moved in. So if I got to paint a little bit, patch up a little wall here and there, all right, keep her happy. Manipulation, manifestation brought to you by the Aryan Nation. I bring up this story because now, not only has the wonderful New York City, New York State done their BS, then I had the butt hats in Pennsylvania, right? After my husband, who lied about anything and everything, after he passed, I was so like, now again, this is more stress. I find him unalive. And well, I thought I had to give stuff to his son. That was stress. I didn't have to do any of that, right? So with that turned into a whole thing where a whole bunch of crap happened that was that's going to be addressed finally. And yeah, liars, liars, liars. So my point is, people, when you get with someone, you gotta go through that person's background with a fine-tooth comb. You understand? You have to know everything about them before you think about either living with them, marrying them. So anyway, that's what happened. And so basically, the truth is that my husband was he had a double life. I just said that he had a double life, and he thought I didn't know about his double life, but I did. And people don't never give 100% to anyone. Never give 100% to anyone. Always keep yourself as a separate corporate entity. Keep yourself as a separate. Yes, you join together, you come together, but never think that the person that you're with is going to be your end all, be all, die all. They can very well be. You can very well go to the grave with the person that you're with, but I'm just saying, don't place anyone above you. Never place someone else above you for your sense of self-worth. Never place anyone above you for your happiness. And especially like for women and men, anyone who's lost a loved one, like you have a relationship, a long-term relationship, and then later on you meet somebody, really, really be cautious with that person. Really be cautious with that person. Because what happened here with me, with my darling, like I said, this man, he didn't want to do anything. Anytime I was trying to do something, then he was like, it's on my house. And when that started, then go, GFY. GFY, don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. Because, there'll be another one right behind you, if that's what I wanted. So, yeah. So yeah, this man lied. He lied from day one. Day one, and after he died, me being all stressed out of my mind, thinking I had to get stuff to his family, I didn't have to do none of that. None of that. Then when I tried to recoup it, darling, darling, darlings. Oh, the sheriff. Oh, the sheriff. Yes, you're part of the Karen Chronicles. You're part of a very big story on how you screw people over, and you do it, and you do it smilingly. You really, really do. Swimmingly, rather, I might say. So there's that. They did nothing. And then also the troopers, because, well, they nothing we could do. After explaining that my signature was forged on a document with Pennsylvania, nothing they could do. So now the Islamic Council, the Islamic Council will be sought out for restitution, okay? I didn't have to give anything to his son. And then his darling son, my husband's son, this kid had this hideous RV, supposed to continue making payments. What does the darling do? He decides he's not going to make payments, and he decides to go file a police report over there in Little Wayne County, right? And then with that little police report, that then resulted in a warrant. And then I was like, okay, the smoke's coming out of my ears. I was like, okay. But they'll never have no luck, all of them. I saw a picture of that kid. He looks like he's about 70 years old. He's like in his, what, 87 he's born? 97, 2007. Yeah, he's almost 40 now. But he looks way old. Well, that's, white people don't age well. You just don't age well. You look like you're 60 when you're 35, for the most part. Anyway, crazy, crazy. People, protect yourself, women, protect yourself. You think you're in love, you're basically you're in an elevated state, fulfilling that void that you once had. That's really what it is. And I wrote a poem. I wrote, I'd rather be hit with a bag of shit than to be lied to with flowers and chocolate dip. And that's the truth. But people live in the fantasy. "Oh, okay, everything's on hunky-dory. Take the money and go." Anyway, everybody, have a good one. Have a good one. And there'll be more to follow with my Progresso and not the soup. My hair was did. It really was did. But anyway, I don't have no heat on it. Without heat, it's like wild. Have a good one. I'll be back. What are these people saying on here? Have a good one. Bye.